Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to Man v Film, and this is going to be a top 10 list of movies you can watch right now on Netflix for the month of June 2020. Number 10, Kindergarten Cop. After numerous fruitless attempts, the veteran LAPD detective John Kimball has one last chance to put behind bars once and for all the elusive drug kingpin Cullen Crisp, who's trying to find the whereabouts of his son and ex-wife who ran away with millions of his dollars. Kimball finds himself at a bustling elementary school, posing as a substitute kindergarten teacher. However, to keep up the ruse without blowing his cover, John must keep under control a noisy classroom full of intimidating 5-year-old adversaries. Kindergarten Cop is a wonderful movie that has kind of mixed tones with it. The movie is bookended by these extremely violent action set pieces which are thrilling, typical kind of Arnold stuff of the time, people getting blown away in a hail of bullets. But in between these two action set pieces are a comedy. And it is a fantastic comedy as well. Really has memorable lines. The kids are all wonderful and it just wins you over. Even going back into this, my memories of it were immediately wiped out as I just enjoyed this movie and what it had to deliver. Great entertainment. Number 9, Four Brothers. In Detroit, when the beloved citizen Elvin Mercer is murdered in a store heist, her 4 dangerous stepsons come to the funeral. Bobby, Angel, Jack and Jeremiah, and they decide to investigate the murder. They discover that her execution was intentional and resolve to find the criminals by themselves. There's something about Mark Wahlberg movies, I find them endlessly rewatchable. They may not be the most highbrow of entertainment, but they deliver on just pure fun. I like the characters in this, I like their interactions, I like the run-of-the-mill mystery at the heart of it, the way it plays out. There is nothing outstanding about this movie, but it's just really solid and really quite entertaining. Number 8, The First Purge. America's third political party, the new Founding Fathers of America, comes to power and conducts an experiment. No laws for 12 hours on Staten Island. No one has to stay on the island, but $5,000 is given to anyone who does. After the trilogy kind of wrapped up, where were we going to go next but back to where it all began? And again, it kind of skirts around the sort of social themes that it has. It never really delving too much into them, but it delivers the action, the thrills, the suspense that you're used to. And this kind of adds a nice addition to the Purge series. Number 7. Everest. On the morning of May 10, 1996, climbers from 2 commercial expeditions start their final ascent towards the summit of Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth. With little warning, a violent storm strikes the mountain, engulfing the adventurers in one of the fiercest blizzards ever encountered by man. Challenged by the harshest conditions imaginable, the teams must endure blistering winds and freezing temperatures in an epic battle to survive against nearly impossible odds. What I really liked most about this was the feeling of camaraderie between the climbers, the way they come together and kind of create a team unit, all destined towards one goal, reaching the summit. And it's wonderful the time spent together, realising the kind of futility of what they're doing, but trying to get there is an admirable trait, and watching them kind of galvanise is terrific. And when the carnage hits, it is spectacular, it is thrilling, and you know not all the guys that you've met and liked are going to make it, and you're just waiting for it to play out. And it's intense and so exciting and just wonderful, and it seems to be one of these movies that was just kind of discarded when it came out. Nobody really talks about it, which is a real shame because this is a thrill ride. Number 6, Shaft. JJ, aka John Shaft Jr., may be a cybersecurity expert with a degree from MIT, but to uncover the truth behind his best friend's untimely death, he needs an education only his dad can provide. Absent through JJ's youth, the legendary locked and loaded John Shaft agrees to help his protege navigate Harlem's heroin-infested underbelly. A somewhat strange reboot sequel to Samuel L. Jackson's Shaft movie that came out in early 2000. This is a kind of fun comedic movie. That is the driving force behind it. The over-the-top performance by Jackson is wonderful, on the nose, a little bit chewing the scenery, but it's the kind of thing you want in this movie. The mystery and story is really secondary to these characters just getting into situations and it just being fun and entertaining. It's not a movie that's going to last long with you, but while you're watching it, you may find it funny and entertaining. Ultimately, it's going to vacate your brain pretty quickly after viewing, but it's left me with that kind of warm, fuzzy feeling about it. Number 5, EUROTRIP. When Scotty's German online pal suggests they meet, he initially freaks out, but then he discovers that she's gorgeous and heads out with his 3 friends after graduation to meet her. As they travel across Europe, the 4 friends have comical misadventures. I am unapologetically a EUROTRIP fan. It's not for everybody. It's part of those teen movies that came out in the early 2000s, and for me, it's one of the most rewatchable and best ones of the lot. I love almost everything about this movie, but I can't say that it's a great movie. It is ridiculously entertaining. It has this song throughout the movie that is endlessly catchy. I like the characters, the situations, the fun vibe that this movie gives. Is it perfect? No, but it is extremely fun. Number 4, The Visit. 2 children spend a week at their grandparents' house while their single mom goes on a relaxing vacation with her boyfriend. Becca decides to film a documentary about her grandparents to help her mum reconnect with her parents and to try and find out some things about her parents as well. While filming, Becca and her little brother Tyler discover a dark secret about their grandparents. M. Night Shyamalan returned to a kind of low-budget, high-concept idea with The Visit, and it was wonderfully effective. Filmed like a kind of fake documentary found footage type of movie. We have these 2 young characters who you initially just latch onto straight away, and they're extremely weird grandparents who continually get weirder as the movie goes on. It has all the thrills and weirdness that you would hope for, a nice twist at the end, which at one point Shyamalan was known for, but this movie is just a really return to form. He has a small budget, he has a small location, and he wrings every ounce of tension and stress out of this movie, and it's really, really entertaining. Number 3, Time Trap. A group of students venture into the deep caves of remote Texas to locate a favourite archaeological professor who inexplicably has gone missing while researching the Fountain of Youth. In the course of their pursuit, the group unwittingly rappels into a break in the space-time continuum, where time passes much slower than on the surface. With no hope for rescue, they descend further into the cave and uncover the most coveted urban legend in history, and find themselves in the crossfire for its control. Time Trap is one of these movies where I liked 99% of it. It was just the kind of last shot that I wasn't 100% certain with, but I really like the energy behind this time travelling adventure as people just go hunting for a missing professor and get locked within this weird time trap that really revolves around a constant loop of time almost, and the way it plays with that, I'm trying to tell you without spoiling it, it's quite inventive. It adds in some really fresh and interesting takes, has some nice shocks and twists and turns, and is ultimately a pretty good movie. I'm just not 100% sold on that ending. Number 2, Extraordinary. Rose, a sweet, lonely driving instructor in rural Ireland, is gifted with supernatural abilities. Rose has a love-hate relationship with her talents and tries to ignore the constant spirit-related requests from locals to exorcise possessed rubbish bins or haunted gravel. But Christian Winter, a washed-up, one-hit wonder rock star, has made a pact with the devil for a return to greatness. Putting a spell on a local teenager, her terrified father Martin asks Rose to help save his daughter. She has to overcome her supernatural gift and work with Martin to save the girl. Quirky is the best way to describe extraordinary. I really liked it. I liked it because I really got into the character of Rose. I liked her predicament, her life, how she was going through the motions and denying her real inner self. And it takes Martin to really bring that to the forefront, as well as creating a romantic pairing as well. We get Christian, the one-time pop star, who is just wonderfully over the top and evil. You get a really terrific special effects bonanza at the end of this movie as everything goes to hell in a handcart, and it's just one of these really fun off-kilter black comedies that I feel lands more than it misses. Number 1, Leave No Trace. After living off the grid in Oregon for years, traumatised military veteran Will and his teenage daughter Tom are picked up by social services and forced to integrate back into society. While Tom begins to connect with others and thrive, Will struggles and attempts to avoid his demons by escaping back into the wild. Leave No Trace is my number 1 movie for this month because it is outstanding. Great performances, a terrific story that really resonates and goes places you're never quite expecting. Perfectly photographed. This is a wonderful movie. The characters of Will and Tom, this father and daughter who just like to stay away from society, stay in the woods, they look after themselves, and when society comes into them, pulls them apart, you feel as if the movie's going to go a certain direction, but it takes a left turn and puts these people firmly back into society, which really is a struggle for Will. He has post-traumatic stress disorder. He's struggling to deal with this confined, four-walled life, while his daughter really takes to it. This is something new, something wondrous, something that she never knew she wanted, and this really drives a divide between these two. It's a wonderful character study, just a wonderful tale of a father and daughter coming to terms with their own issues and the issues within their relationships, and I just cannot rate this one highly enough. You really need to get onto this. So there we have it. 10 fantastic movies for you to check out this month. I hope you find something that you're really going to enjoy. If you've missed something out or something I should have been had on my list, let me know in the comment box, and I will see you next time on Man v Film.